every draft, I think we talk about the top of the draft. And so when we're thinking about the top of this year's class, like how many players can you make a compelling argument for going 1-1?
Man, that's a tough one. I earlier this spring I made a case for 8 and I feel like it was fairly compelling. I think you could probably whittle that down now. I mean, for me personally, I would make a case for 3. I think the industry could make a case for as many as 4 or 5, maybe even 6. Like it's a class that is very muddled at the top. I think a lot of it depends on your preferences, your ideas of like for me personally, like Seth Hernandez would be absolutely a player that I consider, but some people just don't want to think about a high school pitcher at 1-1. It's just too risky for them. We've never seen a high school pitcher or a high school right-hander go 1-1. I personally would love to see that. I think that'd be a lot of fun. So for me personally, 3. I think the industry, I would say 4 to 6 seems reasonable. We can get into some of those if you guys want.
Well, yeah, I would like to, and I would like to hear if we've got to the point yet, if the bonus demands are a part of that conversation, or if we've got to the point where the bonus demands start to drive that conversation.
I don't think so for the bonuses specifically. I know I mentioned this in a draft chat we did today. Actually, I think the agents really try to hold back on the specific bonus information until really as long as they can. They don't want to give up any leverage. They don't want to lock themselves into a figure that maybe um, doesn't look great for them on draft day, or they find out they can actually do better. So everyone's kind of holding things close to the vest. So I don't think the bonus. I mean, they will come into play on draft day. I don't have any clarity today on like who's a player who's just willing to take a big deal because they want to go 1, or if the Nationals even like if the Nationals think Ethan Holiday is just the best player in the class and they don't want anyone to know about it, they're going to take him number 1 on draft day. So I don't have any clarity on that now. I would imagine like a lot of teams are having their meetings, their pre-draft meetings this past week, maybe into this week as we're recording this podcast. So you're probably going to start to hear more of that in the near future. We got the combine coming up next week. A lot of teams are meeting with players and maybe they'll try and engage and get a read for like how excited they are to sign. But typically those conversations for like just signability in general are for guys who are going later, because the assumption is everyone we're talking about in this top 10 range, Ethan Holiday, Seth Hernandez, Eli Willits, like none of those players are real risks to not sign. At least it would be fairly historic if that were the case. So yeah, I guess uncertainty.